everyone. How are you? Well, let's get started today. We're going to start with a fun song about let's get a little crazy. So you just listen and follow along. And here we go.
Come on, clap your hands. Here we go. That's it. Yeah, we're all in this together and we're having fun. We're here to spread the love of God to everyone. Gonna get a little crazy, yeah, a little wild. Here we go now, come give it a try. Move it to the left,
March to your left.
move it to the right.
Go to your right.
Find someone you don't know. Give them
Just do an air high five. Ooh, here you go.
stomp your feet louder.
Stomp your
Yeah, you
feet.
guys are doing awesome. Wave your hands up high.
Wave your hands up.
Find somebody else now.
Look around your house.
Give them a high five.
Air high five. Here we go. Roll it.
All in this together and we're having fun. We're here to spread the love of God to everyone. Gonna get a little crazy, yeah, a little wild. Here we go now.
Come on.
Give it a try.
You ready?
Move it to the left,
March to your left.
move it to the right,
To your right.
to the right. Find someone you don't
Look around your house.
give them a high.
Give me an air high five. There you go.
Stomp your feet loud.
Stomp your feet.
Wave your hands up.
Wave your hands up.
Find somebody else now.
Keep looking out there.
Give them a high five.
Give me an air high five. Here we go. Again.
Come on, one more time.
To your left. Hope I'm going the right way. To your right.
Find someone you don't know. Give them a
Give me that high five. Here we go.
stomp your feet loud.
Stomp them louder. Can hear ya.
Wave your hands up high. Find somebody else now.
Let me see that air high five. Way up there. Here we go. Good job. Thanks, everyone. So, y'all warmed up now? Did I wear you out? So, today, I have something special that I want you to do, okay? We are going to be talking about that God always loves us. So, anytime you hear me say that phrase, God always loves us, I want you to put your hands on either side of your face, and I want you to say, wow, God. Okay, are you ready? So, when I say, God always loves us, what do? Wow, God, that's awesome. So today I want to start us off with our Bible verse. So teach it to you. And it comes from Ephesians chapter 3, verse 18. So we're going to say the verse together. I'm going to say the line, and you're going to do the motions that go with it, okay? So just listen and look, okay? So it says, and you may have the power, okay, to understand, point to your head, very good, as all God's people, how wide, how long, how high, and how deep God's love is. You got that? Ephesians 3:18. And may you have the power to understand, as all God's people should, how wide, how long, how high, and how deep God's love is. Ephesians 3:18. Because remember, God always loves us. Wow, God. Very good. So today we're going to be talking in our Bible story from Genesis. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So I want you to kind of help me with the Bible story today to work it out. So I'm going to read to you from the Bible. have our Bible here. If you have yours at home, you can go get yours. Genesis is the first book in the Bible, in the Old Testament, because the word Genesis means beginning. So it's where we started. And I'm going to read to you from Genesis chapter 1. Chapters are the big numbers, verses 1 through 5. The small numbers are the verses. Okay? And it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty, and darkness covered the deep waters. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters." Verse 3. "Then God said, 'Let there be light.' And there was light. And God saw that the light was good. Then he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness night. And evening passed, and morning came, marking the first day." Okay, did you get that? It's talking about when God created the heavens and the earth. So he began, remember what it said, from separating the light from the dark. And then he made the sky. So we're going to pretend that we're on an imaginary field trip. So first we have to do is, like, I will be your tour guide, of course, since I'm the one here in front of the camera. So put your jacket on, zip it up, follow your tour guide, Miss Carol. So we're going to pretend that we are soaring over the sky. So hold your arms out like this, okay? And I want you to pretend that you were soaring like wings from side to side, okay? And just move around, soaring over, looking down at everything. Okay. Breathing in. Whew, air may be a little thin, flying high up here. Good. Okay, now let's come back down to earth. Take some nice deep breaths. Breathe in. Fill your lungs. Exhale, breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Fill your lungs. Breathe out. Okay, so I have some facts to give you, because you know when you go on a tour guide, the tour guide's always giving you all this little bits of information. So did you know that air is a mixture of nitrogen and oxygen and a little bit of some gases? So God gives us just the right amount of oxygen that we need to live. And that's because God always loves us. Wow, God, did you remember to do it? Okay, so now we're going to go to a specific destination. We're going to pretend that we are going to the beach. So don't forget, if you go to the beach, you got to put on sunscreen, especially if you're fair skinned like I am. So take your bottle, squeeze it, pretend to rub sunscreen on your hands, all the way on your shoulders. Don't forget your neck, and don't forget your ears. People always forget their ears, and your ears get sunburned. And man, does that hurt. Okay? So we're going to pretend that we are listening to the ocean waves. We're kind of in the right room because of what's behind us. So put your ears out and just listen. Listen to the ocean. And I'm going to read to you of what God did next from Genesis chapter 1, again, verses 9 through 10. And it says, "Then God said, 'Let the waters beneath the sky flow together into one place, so dry ground may appear.' And that is what happened. God called the dry ground land, and the water sea. And God saw that it was good." Give me a thumbs up for good. Right? Isn't that awesome? On the third day, what did he say he did? He separated the land and the water. And with land comes this word, gravity. Now, gravity is what keeps us from floating off into space. If you've ever seen, like they're doing a special launch today at Kennedy Space Center, actually putting two astronauts up in the air, launching them up to the space station. And when they are in and they get above the Earth, they lose that gravity, and so you see them floating around in the shuttle and in the spaceships. Well, gravity is what keeps us grounded to the ground. So we're going to put your arms out like this, okay, and try and spread out and jump up and don't come down. Can you do it? Jump up. Oh, but don't come down. So yeah. What happens? We can't do that, right? Because gravity keeps pulling us to the ground, right? So what goes up must come down, because God likes order, and he's thought about everything that we need, like gravity, so that we can stay on the ground. Okay, so now let's going to see what he created next. Genesis 1, verses 11 through 12. Okay. "Then God said, 'Let the land sprout with vegetation, every sort of seed-bearing plant, and trees that grow seed-bearing fruit. These seeds will then produce the kinds of plants and trees from which they came.' And that is what happened. The land produced vegetation, all sorts of seed-bearing plants, and trees with seed-bearing fruit. Their seeds produce plants and trees of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. Very good. Okay, so God always loves us. Oh, wow, God, do you remember? Okay, so He made everything that we needed. So let's imagine that we're in a garden. Do anybody have gardens at home? I know some of you may have gardens. Maybe your grandparents or relatives have gardens at home. So be careful, because what are some of the things you have in your garden? Don't step on things like tomato plants. You might have some okra. You might have some lettuce. You might be growing herbs. Okay? So, but remember, to take care of your garden, you have to pull all the weeds out. So let's pull down and pull the weeds out. Okay? And then we're going to pick what you have from your garden. Okay? Are you going to pick some lettuce? Are you going to pick tomatoes? Okay? So once you get those weeds out, we have all of our fruit. So God made the plants and the trees to produce the fruits and vegetables that we are good for us to eat. That, you know, eating fruits and vegetables, that gives us natural vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin C. Carrots are good for your eyes. Yeah, eating lots of carrots. My husband should have the strongest eyes. He loves carrots. He eats them a lot. Eating oranges and broccoli are good for your teeth. Excuse me, they keep you healthy and your gums healthy. You need your teeth, okay? So cover your mouth or your teeth and say, God always loves us. Did you get it? Try it again. Can you say it? No, you've got to open your mouth to say the words. Okay, so God always loves us. Okay, and He gives us what we need to live. Okay, so like we talked about, now we're going to go to outer space, just like the astronauts are going off today. So we're going to do a blast off. Are you ready? Count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And off we go. Have you ever seen a launch? Seen it on TV? Pretty cool, isn't it? It's even better if you get to see it in person. Okay, so we're going to read Genesis 1:14 through 19 now. Okay, and it tells us, verse 14 through 19. Then God said, "Let great lights appear in the sky to separate the day from the night. Let them mark off the seasons, days, and years. Let these lights in the sky shine down on the earth." And that is what happened. God made 2 great lights, the sun and the moon, the larger one to govern the day, and the smaller one to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set these lights in the sky to light the earth, to govern the day and night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And evening passed and morning came, making the 4th day, because God always loves us. So He created all these scientific forces and things that we needed for us to survive. So the last place we're going now is to the zoo. Isn't that awesome? We've got a great zoo here in Oklahoma City. There's zoos all over the world and all the United States. Great places with all different kinds of animals. So I'm going to read Genesis 1, verse 25. And it says, God made all sorts of wild animals, livestock and small animals, each able to produce offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. So it said that God made all the fish, like what our room here is. Our fish room has different fish. And He made the birds and animals to live in this world. He created all of them. So I want you to think. Shout out a name of a fish. What do you think? Think of clownfish, like Nemo. Do you think of an angelfish? A shark? A whale? Yeah, there's all different kinds of fish. How about a kind of a bird? Cardinals, robins, crows, hawks, eagles. There's a lot of different types of birds, aren't there? How about a bug? Caterpillars, ladybugs, crickets, roaches, spiders, all kinds. Okay, there are all kinds of different animals. So, what I want you to do now is I want you to take a piece of paper, and what I want you to do on that piece of paper, a plain sheet of paper, all of mine have writing on them. Get a plain sheet of paper and a pencil, and what I want you to do is I want you to draw what you see in your house. What do you see from where you're sitting right now, or where you're standing right now? What would you draw? Take that paper and draw. Draw what you see. In your room, are you in the living room, or your parents' office, wherever you are. Then I want you to see, what are those things that you see that God has made? Do you have any animals in your room? Do you have fish? Do you have a cat or dog? Do you have rats? Vanessa has a lot of rats. They have snakes. What kind of animals and things do you have? Because it says, the Bible tells us in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And you know something else that's cool? Jesus was there too. And God later showed his love for us by sending Jesus to our world to rescue us and be our friend. I'd like to read you something about Jesus. As you listen, kind of spread out so you're by yourself. Okay? Close your eyes and imagine you're looking at a night sky filled with stars. Are you ready? And it says, God always loves us and gives us all we need to live. It's an amazing world that you live in. And nobody knows that better than Jesus. Why? Because from the very beginning of the beginning, he helped create it. He knows what you need to feel safe and loved in this life. Those moments where you feel warm and wrapped up in a hug. That's him letting you know that you are loved. As those moments when your stomach kind of does like a flip-flop, or you're lonely or afraid about what's coming with next, Jesus is with you then too. He's next to you, slipping his hand into yours, holding your hand. And there's nothing that the two of you and Jesus, can't tackle together. Jesus is your friend, and he's with you through thick and thin. No matter what you're going through, he gives you what you need the most to live, the gift of himself. Isn't that awesome? Now open your eyes, sit back up if you were lying down, and I'm going to show you something fun that you can do at home. The kind of a little brain experiment, okay? To show you kind of what you can do. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I have a clear cup right here, you see? And I'm going to fill it with water. Because remember, the world had water, and then God separated it to water in the land, okay? Then I'm going to take good old shaving cream, whatever kind of shaving cream. I can get the lid off. There we go, okay? And this is like the heavens with the sky. We're going to put the shaving cream on top. Whoops, I got a mess here. But I'm doing it in a room that doesn't have carpet, okay? Do you see? And this is like the clouds. See the clouds above us and the water? Okay, and then we're going to take blue food coloring right here, and we're going to drop the drops of blue food coloring on the clouds. Can you see? Let me move it down a little bit more. Okay, so it's supposed to, I ran out of blue food coloring. The food coloring goes down through the shaving cream to make rain. Now, ours didn't make rain today, but that's okay. Do you like the rain? I love the rain. Some people don't like it when it rains, but I love the rain because every time it rains, it reminds me that God loves us and he cleans everything and we get to start fresh again. So, this week, when you're out and about, I want you to look around and see what you see about God, things that He made for us. Okay, let's go over our Bible verse one more time in Ephesians 3:18. Because we pray that, and may you have the power to understand, as all God's people should, how wide, how long, how high, how deep is God's love. You have a good day. We'll see you soon.